East. Last week, East knocked out Wests after their gallant run through the semi-finals. And so now we have the two teams that have really performed so well through the season. The winner today wins the cup. For the loser, well, they'll stay alive in the Brisbane Premiership, and you never know, they might be able to make amends in that. With us again, David Wright. This should be a wonderful grand final.
Jerry, I think it'll be a beauty. Main reasons, I think this is the two best attacking sides in the competition. We're not going to see a doer turn out here this afternoon. I think we're going to see some sweeping attack from both ends of the field. I do favour Redcliffe, though, for a couple of reasons. One, I think they'll come in a little bit fresher than the Tigers. They've had, this will be only their second game in 4 weeks, so they'll be very fresh. And also, I just think in the talent stakes, they've got some perhaps better players all over the park. East have got some very good players, but for broad strength, I think it goes with the Dolphins. Of course, it's not talent so much that wins these games, it's attitude, and Redcliffe will have to be on their game. Let's have a look at what a good side it is. They've got some great attack from 1 through to 13. Adam Moggs at fullback, he can run the ball back as good as any other fullback in the competition. Hurren and Douglas on the wings. Some good centres there in Canning and Wilson. The scrum-based trio, I think, is one of the strengths of the Dolphins in Singleton, Robinson and Gould. Good balance in the back row with Hinchy and Ian Graham. And in the front row, Lindsay, Ackerman and Cleal. It's coached by John Boxall. And, Jerry, I think they can go one better than what they did last year.
Yes, Dave, certainly on paper they look to be a tremendous team. So, Greg Dowling, can East beat them?
Well, Jerry, East are the only side to have beaten Redcliffe twice this year, but they must control the ball a lot better than what they did last week. If they keep turning it over as they did in that game, this Redcliffe side will put a cricket score on them. The main players for East this afternoon come from Big Graham Cotter, Hooker Dale Williams and the ball-playing back rowers of Dougie Evans and Mark Cesarago. And also they've got the club's leading try scorer out there in Travis Baker. He's had a magnificent season this season, Travis Baker. He's 24 tries to date, including that memorable double last week against West. I'm expecting a fiery opener to this game as both forward packs strive to dominate. Let's take a look at the East lineup for today's Queensland Cup final. David Smith has been replaced by Leon Yateman. He has succumbed to a knee injury sustained in the game last week against West. The wingers are Robbie Braun and Peter Turner. The centres are Chris Beattie and Travis Baker. The halves are Sipple and McPherson. The forwards are Jeff Wakefield. Mark Cesarago is the captain. Dougie Evans, Scott Nielsen, Dale Williams and Graham Cotter. And the coach is Gavin Payne. I'm going for a Redcliffe victory here this afternoon. After going down to Toowoomba last year's final, that will be fresh on their minds, and that should be enough incentive to see them get through to victory and take the Queensland Cup back up to the peninsula.
Well, Greg Dowling's going for Redcliffe to win, and we've got a good crowd here as well for this grand final of the Queensland Cup. There's a Dolphins supporter getting the last-minute pick before the boys come out. And it won't be too long before Peter Robinson leads out the Redcliffe Dolphins with their strong legion of supporters here, ready to see if they can make amends for last year. Toowoomba won the inaugural Queensland Cup last year and took it home to the mountains. This year it'll stay on the coast. And the Redcliffe under-17 team, and what a team they are, because they won their major semi-final match 51-10, but here come the Dolphins. Peter Robinson just walking out slowly, and now into a trot. And what a lineup they have. As we saw a little bit earlier, this Dolphins team, it's pretty hard to criticise the lineup. So much power and strength in the forwards, the wonderful versatility of that. The base of the scrum there with Tony Gould at lock and Anthony Singleton and Peter Robinson the halves. And there he is, the captain, Peter Robinson.
Very much like Tommy Radonicus in the way he plays, Peter Robinson, but his opposing halfback will give nothing away today either in Brett McPherson. He's a lot younger, of course, than Robinson, but a similar side. Both tenacious little players. Peter Robinson leads by example. The mighty Tigers led out by Mark Cesarago. They've got to the grand final the hard way. They'll say they're well prepared, I'm sure. And it's a very handy side the Tigers have got on the park. Cesarago leads by example. Big man in the back row. Popped a beautiful ball last week to put the flying Travis Baker away for a try over about 50 or 60 metres. That's what the Tigers are capable of. They've got some good attack players. They back up very, very well. And it comes down to 2 teams now. We started with 14 at the start of the Queensland Cup back in March. 8 teams from Brisbane, 5 from Queensland Country and 1 from Papua New Guinea.
Referee is Stewie Burnt. He gets the big one, gets to referee the grand final. He also got to take part in a competition to guess the score in the grand final, so he might be able to work that one out, although certainly sure he wouldn't be involved with anything like that. So
nice to know what he guessed, though, wouldn't it?
He didn't stay around for the main course, so at least he should be able to run around there quite freely. I don't know that we can say the same. So it's the Tigers kicking off, running right to left on your screen. And the Queensland Cup Grand Final is underway. So the first touch of the ball, well, it's gone over the dead ball line, but it bounced just before it did, so it went pretty close to going out on the full.
Game of millimetres it is, because that has bounced in the field of play and then out, and therefore it's a goal line dropout. Bit of a horror start for the Dolphins. They thought the wind would carry this ball out over the dead ball line. Really, they hadn't positioned themselves correctly there. It also knew the same. Scott Nielsen, not the biggest man to play in the front row. Shane Pearce would normally have been in that Tigers outfit, but he's on the injured list and has been for the last few weeks. There's Sipple, out to Cesaraga, little set piece, back to Sipple. Chances here, they created something. Back on the inside to Leon Yateman. The defence tries to get hold of him, a couple of grabs. Leon Yateman, very close, made it! Wow, what an effort by Yateman. There were players hanging off him over 8 or 9 metres, and Yateman just kept slipping through, pushing away, and finally got close enough to slam it down.
That was a sensational performance by Leon Yateman, and coming after it looked as though Redcliffe had actually scored, and they hadn't. So they're the fortunes of a grand final. Here we see the ball being moved. Out wide, Cesarago backs around, and now Sipple runs forward, gets the pass back inside to Yateman. Now look at the way he pushes off one after another. There's total determination on the face. He's not going to let anybody get in his way. They can hold on to his jumper, to his shorts, to everything else, but he makes sure that he goes over. Nice wonderful work. Try.
Beautiful set piece, this one from the Tigers. That was the little wrap around. Sipple does well to turn it back on the inside. Yateman, hands on him from 8 metres out. And he just kept, no, it was more than that. He was 15 metres out when they first touched him. But he then brushed through 3 or 4 to score it.
Yes, if ever you want to know what to do in a grand final, this is it. There's Sipple running around now. The dummy that enables him to go forward. A nice pass back inside, but strength, determination, courage, going to get there. Don't get in my way, or if you do, I'll march straight over the top of you. Leon Yateman, a try, and a happy man.
On the negative side, Redcliffe will wonder how he got through there, because I would think 6 players at various times had their hands on this man, and what a replacement he's been. He's come in.
They've got men out wide if they can get it out there quickly. Williams goes the blind side instead. Still going Williams. He might score himself. He does. Dale Williams has gone over for that time.
Oh, punch up. There's a big punch up on. Sorry, Jerry. Peter Robinson got in and threw a few. There's one East player down. They've got the try though, Rafter. They also got a bit extra trouble though. Player down.
Mark Cesarago.
Cesarago, is it?
And Layhipper's tackle just 5 metres short still. This defence is holding on. Gould can't get through it either. So the Tigers combining so well in their defence and will not let Redcliffe cross the line. Now they do. It's a try. Simple as you like. Scored by Anthony Singleton from dummy half. Well, all of a sudden you sing their praises in the defence, and suddenly there's a huge gap that Anthony Singleton said thank you very much.
Lack of concentration by the Tigers. We just saw a dummy half try by Dale Williams a little bit earlier. Have a look at this. You've got to watch the man with the ball, and Singleton, ever alert, last tackle. That's almost unbelievable that they had heaps of players around there. They weren't watching the dummy half. They were more worried about everyone else, and Singleton, like Sydney Heads, the temptation was too great. Millsy it is there. Big Steve Mills looked away. Never take your eye off the ball. And Anthony Singleton, ever alert, takes it.
And the Tigers caught on the halfway, and it's on again. Day and Robinson are continuing to wrestle, but they realise they have to get up and roll. That one. Travis Baker's little kick through, and Selwyn Toby is caught on the 20-metre line. Can Redcliffe do it with 15 seconds left on the clock in the first half? Long passes will be required. Robinson needs to keep it going to Hinchy. There's a man outside. Still, he can get it back inside. Douglas stepping inside. Can't get rid of the ball this time. He can probably take one more tackle. The hooter will go in his second. There goes the hooter. That's half time. Redcliffe got close to the line. in the dying seconds of that first half. And at half-time in the grand final, there's nothing in it. The Tigers are leading Redcliffe by 12 points to 6 after 40 minutes of real grand final football. And both these teams, there's niggling. There are battles going on. There are 2 men in the sin bin at the moment. We've got a terrific second half coming up for you shortly. East 12, Redcliffe 6 at half-time.
Travis Baker goes the blind, brushes out of one, can brush out of another. Oh, almost through. I thought it was off the ground. He must have been not held. Cutter can't get through. That's the third. They want defenders on the open side. The Dolphins scream for support. Cesarago lets one go. That's a beautiful ball. Has it turned out? After Robbie Braun. Can he make it? Yes! Rob Braun has scored it. Robbie Braun in the corner. McPherson threw that pass and said, I'm pretty sure it was Brett McPherson, he threw it out into open spaces and said, run onto this. If you get it, this will create the opportunity. And that's exactly what happened for Robbie Braun. He needed every millimetre and every second. The pass was by Sipple. The inside pass was the real good ball. Robbie Braun, wow, he just scores that. That'll be worth having a close look at, Jerry.
It will indeed. The defence comes across.
Bad option by Singleton. He wasted his extras.
Hurren away now to Robinson. Robinson with a long pass to Hitchie. Hitchie from the line has got there. It's scored. Hitchie goes over, and finally the Dolphins get the try that has been eluding them for so long. With 14 minutes left in the game, it's now 16-10 with a conversion to come.
We've got a grand final on it. Redcliffe have got players who can do something from nothing. Gould, dummy half run, goes up the middle, defence is there. 16-12. A touch over, 3 minutes to go. Ackerman up to Lindsay. He's going to try some brute strength, but can't get there. Ackerman comes back this way. They're all very flat. Gould the grubber. Why, son? Why so early? Gould went for the grubber. It wasn't the last tackle. It didn't find the in-goal area. And Jamie Day on the spot, I think, to save the day.
Yes, it was Jamie Day, and we're now down to just 2.5 minutes left in the grand final. Day is limping back there.
Chris Beattie's in trouble as well, Jerry. He's being led from the field.
Yes, Nielsen plays the ball. Still East need to get it away from here. Graham Cotter, he'll do his best to take it forward. Redcliffe know that they're running back and that the clock is running forward. So across field it goes now, and carted forward by Phil Lockwood across his own 20-metre line. That's the 5th tackle for the Tigers. The kick will come now from Sipple. It's a shocker out of the full. Wow, Redcliffe have another chance.
Change over 2. They can play it quickly and go on with the job.
2.5 minutes left in the grand final. Redcliffe have to score a converted try to snatch this grand final, and they can do it.
There's a wasted tackle.
Ackerman, 25 metres out, he goes to ground. Essex a dummy half. Across now to Lindsay, up to the 20-metre line. 3 Tigers meet him and bring him to ground.
Jerry, I think they're out on their feet. I don't know whether they've got enough energy to get it across the try line.
And I think you're probably talking about both teams there. They really are absolutely desperate. Miller can pass to nobody. Gould eventually picks it up. It'd be amazing if that turned into something. The clock says 1.5 minutes to go. 16-12 in favour of East over Redcliffe. Essex, Gould steps back inside, but he can't get the pass. He can get the pass away. And now it's Essex heading for the line, and he's tackled just short. So Essex plays the ball. Now across to Gould. Gould with a long pass. This could be intercepted. They've got Meaday up there. Singleton gets it away and turned back inside. Cameron Hurren, can he get a break? No, he can't. Finds support, but that's the 5th
Gaps
tackle.
on the left, gaps on the left.
1 minute to go. Gould with the long pass. Hitchie's won it. Hitchie's gone over for the try, but the conversion has to come.
It's all locked up. 16-all. What a finish. Can Singleton win the grand final, and it will come after the hoot of this kick. There are 50 seconds to go in the match in normal time. The cheer squad jump and bounce around. The players can't. They are exhausted. The pass, I think it was from Gould. It was tantalisingly close to an intercept. Couldn't be taken, brushed away. Hitchie slipped over. Could they sacrifice another try? No. James Hinchey gets it across.
Well, it was superb work with both teams absolutely worn.
What a
and
pass.
once again, it's these long passes out there to Hinchy, and Hinchy heads for the line, loses his footing, gets over to level the scores, and so this kick, now he's kicked one from the sideline, from this very sideline, has Anthony Singleton, but there goes that pass again to Hinchy, and Hinchy, who scored the previous try, is able to get across and level the scores, and the clock is already showing 0.
Well, the hoot is gone, Jerry.
The look there on James Hinchy's face, absolute exhaustion. If this game does have to go to extra time, it's 16-all at the moment. Well, I don't know how they're going to do it. Redcliffe, both sides exhausted. This is the ultimate in sporting pressure.
He's kicked 2 from 2.
Oh, Johnny Boxall, that bit of gum's getting a workout now. He knows this could be a grand final victory with this kick, or it could be, let's keep going for another 10 minutes each way. There's 17 players and a coach willing this in.
How much pressure is there on Anthony Singleton right at this moment?
The maximum. It doesn't get any more than this. This could be one of the great kicks. Singleton always takes his time. Hits it, hooks it, the wind will help it! It's there! They won it! They won it after the hooter! The Dolphins have done it! They jump in the air! The supporters do the same! What a kick by Anthony Singleton!
They trailed for 80 minutes. 84 minutes they were behind Redcliffe. They're in front after the hooter. They have won the Queensland Cup by 18 points to 16. Anthony Singleton, what a hero. Under immense pressure, he had to allow for the breeze. He allowed for it beautifully. It snuck inside the right-hand upright. There he is, right in the middle of the picture. Anthony Singleton, Lindsay there, Troy Lindsay, number 10. Johnny Boxall, what a relief it must be for the coach. And plenty of hugs. And what a feeling. They lost last year's Queensland Cup on grand final day. Today, they have won the Queensland Cup. And spare a thought to the East Tigers. What a terrific performance by them in this grand final. Cleo there, ecstatic. Peter Robinson, Graham. And there, some of the East players, Graham Potter, congratulating his former teammate, Scott Nielsen. The disappointment, the devastation of it, to be so close, just cannot believe it. The eyes tell the story. Poor Mark Cesarago, the captain of the East Tigers. Has it really happened? Why did it happen? How did it happen? And the elation for Redcliffe and for the Redcliffe supporters too. And let's go down to the man of the match. He's with Greg Dowling, and the man who scored the try on the 81st minute, James Hinchy.
The Channel 9 Queensland Cup being presented to the Redcliffe captain, Peter Robinson. Now, Peter, we'll ask the Redcliffe players if they'd come through. We'll hand the microphone over to Peter and get Peter to introduce each of the players as they are presented with their winning medallion for being in the winning side in the 1997 Channel 9 Queensland Cup. Thanks, Peter.
What a grand finish to what we've had this year. The 1997 Queensland Cup has been another outstanding success. We hope to bring it to you again next year. Bye for now.